Hello everyone, welcome to our new class. In yesterday's class, we studied about the cache mapping. Now, in this type of cache mapping, we are assuming that inside our memory and inside our cache, we have one word in one block of a memory. Like in main memory, we are only storing 12 bits. Now, when we are having a larger memory, like in the case we are having more words stored inside our memory, then we don't directly call it words. Then we divide our memory into blocks. Now let us we will discuss about what is a block and how this mapping works when we are having multiple words inside one block. So let us start with it. So, assuming this is our memory. Now let us assume that this is a 64 word memory. Now, what is a 64 word memory means? There are 64 words stored in this memory. Now, these 64 words are stored in the form of blocks. Now, then we will call this as block 1, block 2, so and so on. These are the blocks. So we need to firstly find out how many blocks are there. Now the memory is divided in the form of words. We have to find out how many blocks are there. Now what is the method to find it out? First of all, we need to find how many number of words are there in one block. So that is the first assumption which we are going to make. Like in this case, if I say this is a four word block, like if you can see this, it is written that direct mapping block size of 8 words. It means that inside one block there are 8 words. Now the example which we are going to do in this class are a is a 4 word block size. So in this mean this will mean that inside one block there are 4 words in one block. So if this is our block number block 1, if this is a block 1, right, b0 b1 so and so on, how many total blocks will be there? So we can find it out by directly dividing 64 by 4. 4 are the number of words inside one block, and what is the total capacity of this memory? It is 64 words. So 64 divided by 4, which gives us 16 blocks, which means inside our memory we will be having 16 blocks in total. So I will just write it like this: b2 b3 b4. Then after b4 we can simply, instead of marking everything, we can simply put dots, and this will be b15. Now these are the total number of blocks, and this is our RAM. Now we are going to talk about a memory which is having 4 blocks in it. In your book it is given as 8 words. So now the example which we are doing, that is for 4 words. Now similarly we will have a RAM. After RAM we will be having a cache memory. So cache will also be in the form of words. How many words that cache memory can store? So now let us take an example. This is also an assumption which we are going to make at this place. The cache memory which we are using is capable of storing 16 words in it. This is what we are assuming, that this can store 16 words in it. Okay, and there are how many lines which we have in this. Now in this we define it as blocks. The similar concept is here, but it is now divided into lines. So how many lines are there? We can find it out that in one line how many blocks it can store, and that how many blocks, how many words it can store in one line is equivalent to the number of words it can store. So in simple words, what we are trying to do at this place, we are simply assuming that in one block, how many words in one line, how many words can be there? They will be equivalent to the number of words which your RAM can store. So they are 4. So this will also be equivalent to 4. So the total number of lines which we require for this to contain 16 words will be 16 divided by 4. So it is 4 lines. Now if there are 4 lines, we are going to write it like this. This is line 1, line 2, or you can start from 0. It is up to you how you want to name it. Line 0, line 1, line 1, 2. Total there are 4 lines. Now which block can be placed in which line? Now there is one decision which you need to make. Now what is that decision? We have to, what actually our purpose is there. We have a RAM memory, we have cache. We need to pick up certain data from RAM and shift it to cache. Now as we have studied this in our previous classes, that there is a CPU is having cache, then we have RAM, before that we have registers, and we have hard disk drive. If CPU is able to find it in cache, it is fine. If it is not able to find it, the data, then it will move to RAM. Then if it is able to find it in RAM, it is fine. If it is not, it is going to hard disk drive. Now if it finds the data, now let us, we are ignoring the HDD drive because we are only talking about cache and RAM. If it is able to find the data inside RAM, what is the next task? The next task is to shift this data from RAM to cache. So we need to pick the data from RAM and shift it to cache. So now we need to have a mapping scheme. We need to know which data is to be shifted at what place inside the cache. Now the second problem, the first one was mapping, and the second thing is the size of cache is only 16 words, whereas the size of our RAM is 64 words, which means there is a difference between the size. So at max we can have 16 words inside the cache, but the RAM is containing 64 words. So we need to have certain mechanism to store these six, out of these 64 words we have to store only maximum 16 words inside the cache. So we need to have a map for this, that which data will be stored at which location. So that is what we are going to do. So to perform that, we have a scheme according to which we are going to select the designated spaces inside the cache for a particular block of RAM which is going to be stored in the cache. Now, which is that formula? That is K mod M. This is the formula which we are going to use. So in this case, first of all, the K is for mode like this. This is for block number. Firstly, block 0 mod 4. 4 are the number of lines which we have inside the cache. So answer will be 0. It means the block 0 which we are having at this place will be stored in 0th line of cache. Then for the second block, this will be 0 mod 4. The answer is 1. So sorry, this is B0, this is B1. 2 mod 4. Answer is 2. So this will be stored here. 3 mod 4. Answer is 3. So block number 3 will be stored at this place. After this, we will do it for the next 4 mod 4. Answer is again 0. It means that the fourth block is stored at this place. then B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, 13, 14, and last one is B15. So all the blocks will be stored in this way. Now we have a fixed location for a particular block to be stored inside a line inside a cache. And the words which we are talking at this place, how they are organized, they will be like W0, word 1, word 0, word 1, word 2, and word 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7th word, then 8, 9, 10, 11, so and so on up to 63, 62, 61, 62, 61, and 60. So these are the words which are represented by this 60, 61, 62, 63, and here we are representing it as W. We are having less time, less space, so that is why I'm explaining it like this. Now, these are the words, these are the blocks. So one particular block from this place will be shifted to a cache. Now, which block can be shifted to the line number 0 inside the cache is fixed by using this formula, which is k mod m. So it is now fixed that B0 block can be stored at this place, B4 block can be stored, B8 block can be stored, B12 block can be stored at layer 0, at line 0. Line 3 will be able to store B3, B7, B11, and B15. B is your block number. Now this is how we are going to perform the mapping. Now let us next thing is how we divide the addresses. Now how to find out the addresses in this. So let us discuss about that. So this is something clear to you. Now how many total words do we have? So this is already clear how many blocks we are going to choose. So there are 64 words till this point. If I want to find out the exact, or if I want to refer these 64 words, what will be the number of bits which I require? How many total number of bits will be required? So they are 6. Why 2 raised to the power 6 is equivalent to 64? There are total 64 words inside the memory. So we need 6 bits to represent 64 words. Now in one block we are having 16 blocks, and in one block we are having 4 words. Now it is up to you how you want to find it out, how you want to divide this. It is up to you whether you firstly want to make an arrangement for blocks, then the rest of the bits will be for words, or you firstly want to decide for words and the rest of the bits will be for blocks. Now it is up to you, but the total address will be of 6 bits only. So now let us see, if we firstly make a provision for the words, how many total words are there? 4. So how many bits do I need to decide which word is there? So there are only 4. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. 0, 0 is by referring this particular thing. 0, 0 will tell that it is W0. 0, 1 will tell it is W1. 1, 0 is telling it is W2. 1, 1 is telling it is W3. So same for the next, if we refer to this, 0, 0 will tell that it is W4, this will tell it is W5, W6, W7. So how many bits are required to refer all these words? Only 2 bits. And how many are remaining out of 6? 4. So 4 bits will be telling us about the block, which block it is there. So we can call in your book conventions, we call this a word and this as your block, or sometimes we call it as block offset as well. It is known as block offset. So it is up to you how you want to represent. So we are having different schemes for this. As you want to represent, you can. So sometimes we call it as block and this as block offset. So it is up to you how you want to represent it. Now, this was how we are going to represent the data inside your RAM. Now, the next thing is how we are going to represent this data inside the cache. So how we are going to represent it at this place. That which data is going to get stored at what place. So let us talk about that first. Now we are aware about the lines and all. So in this case for cache, we have divided this total address like there are six bits which we require at this place. This was the physical address. Now the number of bits will remain same inside the cache even though its size is less. Even though the size is only of 4 lines, but still the physical size for referring to cache will still remain same. So the total size will still be 6 bits for this, and we are not going to change this word or whatsoever you call it as block your block offset or whatsoever you want to call. So this will remain as it is. It is 2. Next, we are having now there are 3 different things in this. While we are talking to cache or talking about cache, this thing will become your line number. This will tell what is the line number. This will tell which is the block number, or we call it as tag. So this will be tag, this will be the line number, and this will be your block offset. So this is how we divide this in the case of caching. So how many total lines are there? 4. So how many bits do we require to represent a line? Only 2. And how many lines do we require to represent the tag? Total are 6 minus 4 are 2. So 2 lines will be used or 2 bits will be used for referring to any of the line, any of the block. 2 bits will be used for any line, and 2 blocks will be used to find out the words, or we call it as block offset. In uh, your slide, it is given as tag. Instead of writing it line number, they have divided it into 2 parts. One is block and other is word. So it is up to you how you want to represent. Normally in cache we call it as line. So it is a line number. So now let us see an example how we are going to use it. So there are 6 bits which we are having. Now just assume that there is an address generated by our CPU. There are 6 bits. So something like this. This is just an example. Now this is our address which is generated. This address is generated. If we do it in binary, it will be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 16 plus 4. It is 20. This is 20. So now how to find out whether it is present at this place or not, or whether we have to go it and search at this place. So how we can do that? See, this is representing the tag. Now this tag is 0, 1, which means if this thing is present, it should be present on means second word. it should be present at second word. Sorry, second location. What is the line number? Line number is 0. So inside this block, like it should be in at this place, like in this place, because the line number is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 means the first one, this one, because this is representing 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So it should be present at this place. And what is the index? 0, 0 is the first word, like we have used at this place. 0, 0 for the first one, 0, 1 for the second. So it should be present at this place. Okay. So now let us see whether it is present or not. And this one is representing the word number. It should be at third value because it is the 1, 0. 1, 0 is for third value. So if we design it like this, 14, 11, this is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so this is at this place. 20. So let us see. It is B5. So it should be, so it should be 0, 1. Now if it is 0, 1, it is not 20. It is 18. Sorry. This is why it was a confusion. No. If it is 18, this is this one. Where it is present? It is in B4 block. B4 block is present at line 0, and it is at line 0. So this is telling us which line number it is. This is telling us which word is it. If this is 0, 0, this is 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So it is at 0, 1. So 0, 1 is here, 0, 1 is here. Then line number is 0, 0. So line number is 0, 0. And where it is stored at 1, 0. 1, 0 is third location. This is first location, first index location, second, and third. So it is present at this place. So this is how we are going to map it. If we want to shift, like in this case, this is how we are going to map it inside the cache and inside the RAM. So this is the method. Like it will generate our ID or it will generate our address. We will look for that address inside our cache, as well as if we want it, it is not present in the cache, then we can refer it to RAM. So we can search it in the RAM by using the same address. Whereas in the cache, the first two lines will be representing the tag, second line will be second two bits will be representing the line number, third two bits will be representing the words. Whereas the same thing or same address will be searched inside the RAM by combining these two lines, and the last bits will remain same. Now what actually it is? What is actually happening in this case? Our CPU generates a address, and it generates a address, like just assume that the maximum RAM which we are having, that is 64 bit words. So it generates a address of 6 bit. Now that same 6 bit address can be used to access two values or two different memories. If we have combined it, or if we are searching like this, it will be searching it inside the RAM. RAM can be searched by using or by combining these two bits and search it inside the RAM. If we want to search the cache, like if CPU is generating an address, for searching inside the cache, there are 6 bits. We have divided it into three parts. This is known as tag, this is known as line number, last one is known as word. Whereas here, in this case, we call this as block and this as word. Okay. So by using the same 6 bits, we are able to refer a cache as well as we can refer to RAM. we are using the same number of bits to access both of the memories. So your CPU doesn't need to generate any special or a different address to access cache or a different address for RAM. What does it mean? That all the memories which we are having, all the memories which we are having, we need to develop such kind of mappings which should be helping you to access any of the memory, like whether it is cache, whether it is RAM, whether it is hard disk drive. All the memories which we are having should be accessible by using a or by generating a single address. So I should your CPU should be able to access cache by generating a single address, whereas RAM as well as hard disk drive. So it should be able to access all the three by using the same address. So that is what main motive of mapping is. Now, why it is beneficial for us to have a same address? Like in this case, we are having a cache and we are having a RAM. Both are able to, CPU is able to access both of them by using a single address. Same if it is not found in the RAM, we can map this RAM also to a hard disk drive. And then we can search in the hard disk drive by using the same address. Okay, so that is how we are going to perform the mapping when we talk about RAM and cache, RAM and hard disk drive. Okay, the main motive at this place is to define a mapping scheme so that your CPU is able to read the content from cache as well as from RAM by using the same address. Now to do that, what we have simply done, we have firstly inside, if it is a 16-bit CPU address, if you are looking inside the cache, look it in this way. Use the tag, use the line number, and use the word. But the total length is still same, 6. If you are searching it inside the RAM, use this. Block, these two are combined. Block is 4, word is 2. So if you want to look it in this way, you can search for it. Now let us take an example. Uh, Another example. If we want to look up for a certain data, like if the address generated is 32. So let us take this example. So it will be 0. This will be the address. Now, if you want to search this address and you are searching inside the cache, if you are searching inside the cache, then how this search will be done? This search will be done by considering these two bits as tag, these two bits as line number, and this one, these two bits as word. So let us see whether this is present or not. Now, how it is, how we will detect that whether it is present or not, that will be with the help of this. We will be able to understand whether it is present or not, because these values will be present. If the value which we are searching is present inside the cache, we will call it as cache hit. If we are not able to find it at this place, it will be a cache miss. If it is a cache miss, then we will pick it from RAM. If it is present inside the RAM, put it inside the cache. And when we are doing this, these are known as page replace your replacement algorithms. So we will use those algorithms, but this in this class we are not studying about that. We are only studying about how we are reading cache and RAM. So let us see this. We are having a tag, line number, and word. So let us see if it is present, where we can find it. Use this tag. This tag is telling you inside this total cache at which index you will find it if it is present. Which index? This index is like 0 0 is representing 0, 0 1 is representing index 1, 1 0 is representing index 2, 1 1 is representing index 3. This is the representation. So if it is 1 0, it means it should be at index 2, like 0 1 and 2. It should be present somewhere at this place in the third row, sorry, third column. Okay, and what is the line number? Line number is 0. So it means if it is present, it should be present at this place. because line number is 00. And what is the word? If it is present, it should be present on the first word. First word. So it should be present in the first word value. Like this is a block, and it should be present on the first place. Now, if we use the same thing to search the same content inside the RAM. Now let us talk about this. In this place, if it is B0, B0 means there are four words in it. If it is like this is representing that it is the tag is either it is B8. This is either B8, B12 or something. Now in this case, it is 32. It is your B8 means this is the word. Sorry, this is the block B8 block, and the word is present on the first place. Now if we do it at this place like 21, 22, 23, so and so on, we will get that this value 32 is present on the first place at this place, and the block number at that place will be B8. B8 block will be there and it would be present at the first place. So that is what we are going to identify by using this value. So that is what it is not drawn at this place. So I will take another simple example in this case. I will take a value 10 so that it is easy. 10, or we will take a value 4. So if it is 4, 1, 2, 4. So this is 1. If this is 4, now let us test how we are going to find it out. 00 tag, which means it is present at this place. This is the 00 index. Line number is 01. So line number is this one. In this row, this one. So line number is 01, which means this value. So this is for the block 1. And what is the word? Word is 0. So let us check block 1 word index 0. So what is the value? 4. What is the value here at first place? 4. So these are how we are going to search it. This was how we can search it inside the cache. Now if we are going to search it inside the RAM, so then it is much easy. How? 2 bits. 2 bits will be used for accessing the word, and these bits will be used for 4 bits will be used for searching the block number. So 0001, 0001, if we write 4 bits, 0000, it is the block 0. 0001 will be the block 1. So it is saying it is in block 1. And what is the word number? It is 00. So it means it is at 0th location. So block 1 and 0th address. So it is this one. So what is that value? 4. So we can use the same data or same number of bits inside cache as well as inside the RAM. Now how it is different? Even though this size is very huge, this is 64 word memory. It can store 64 words. This can only store 16 words in it. But still, whether it is 16 words or 64 words, still we are using the same number of bits to find it out, find the data. So that is what beauty of this mapping scheme is. Mapping schemes give you a flexibility to use the same address to access smaller cache as well as larger RAM by using the same address. Now, this will be also helpful when we are bringing a value from RAM to cache. Why? If we are not able to find the data inside our cache, that will be known as cache miss. So we have talked about this concept. What is a cache hit and what is a cache miss? So if your CPU is able to find the data inside cache, that will be a cache hit. If we are not able to find the data inside the cache, then it will be known as cache miss. If it is a cache hit, then there is no problem. CPU will get that data from cache and use it inside its processing. Then it is done. But if it is a cache miss, CPU will use the same 6-bit address, in this case 6-bit address, to access that data from RAM. And once it finds that data, it will issue a command to replace that data with the block which is already which is not present inside the cache. So if it is not present, then we are going to get that data from RAM. So that is known as replacement. So we will do that, but it is not directly given in your syllabus. So we have some page replacement algorithm. So we will discuss about that. So now I just want to clear this with to you by using this operation. If you can pay attention to, CPU generates a memory request with tag and index. Tag and index is generated by your CPU. So which is this one, tag and index. They it simply says it is tag plus index. So total it generates a 6-bit value. It generates a 6-bit value. According to your CPU, what is it? It is a tag and a index. That is what it is saying. It is generating a tag plus index. Now a tag is generated. That tag will be used to access the value. After that, access cache using index. If it is able to find it inside the uh, cache, it will use the value of tag and data to access by using the index as well. Compare the tag. If the tags are same, if this value and this value is same, if the comparison of tag is same, we will call it as cache hit. If it is able to find it, then it is fine. If it is not able to find it, it will be a cache miss. So that is what we are uh, going to search at this place. Compare the tag tag and small tag. It is simply one is used for your cache and one is used for your RAM. So it is just comparing two values. If both the values are same, it means the same content is here inside the cache. If the content is same, then it is not going to perform anything. It is simply going to pick the data and access it. If it is a cache miss, it will bring the data from RAM to cache. So that is what it is going to do. Okay. But the total 6 bits are generated, and it divides into tag and index, which is further index is further divided into two parts. One is your block and the another one is word. Either you want to call it as word or your what we call it block offset. So whether it is block offset or block, or you can call it as a line number and your word. So it is up to you how you want to represent it, but the tag will remain as tag. So this is about the direct mapping, how you can access the data by inside the RAM and inside the cache by using the same size of address. And this is for a 4-word memory. If it is a 8-word memory, then what would have happened? If it is a 8-word memory, 8 block size or 8 words inside one block, we will find out how many number of blocks we will require. According to that, we will search it, that how what will be the size which we need, and what will be the total size which is generated at this. So these things will depend upon what is the number of words inside one block. If this block, one block contains 8 words, so then 64 would have been divided by 8. Then the if it is divided by 8, the maximum number of blocks could have been 8 only, because 64 divided by 8 is 8. Then the maximum blocks would be 8, and at this place, instead if we are having 4 line numbers, so according to that we will search how many values are going to get stored at what location. So that would have been different. So you can refer to your book to understand this concept. You can say by using an example of 8 words. Okay. Currently, we have done it for 4 words. If you want to do it for 8 words, you can refer to your book. After this, now the next cache mapping which we have, that is set associative mapping. Now, earlier when we were talking about the associative mapping, we were saying we are having a address and we are having a data. We will discuss about this cache mapping, which is set associative cache, when the sizes of two. Earlier we have talked about a single size. We were having a single index, a tag, and data, but now we are having multiple tags inside a memory. So we will discuss about set associative, and then we will talk about the cache read and write schemes, virtual memory and address mapping in our next classes. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much.